Debbie Fry. I'm head of teen services at the Gum Spring Library in Loudoun County, Virginia. And today I'm going to show you a little bit more about how to draw action poses for like anime characters. So I have an example here. Hopefully you can see this okay. So this is the character I'm going to work with. Her name is Domino. Last time when we were drawing anime bodies, I was focusing more on adults. Domino is a kid though, so her body shape is going to be a little bit different from an adult. If you can see, like with an adult female, her waist tends to be a little more pronounced. Her hips are a little bit wider, but with a kid, it's going to be a little bit easier to draw, I think, in some ways, just because you don't have that like pronounced like bust or hip. So we're going to do that over here. All right, just make sure I got this right so you guys can see. Okay, so when I talk about action poses, I mean basically anything other than people just standing there doing nothing. So the first one that I'm gonna do is kind of a running pose. We're gonna try this for running. So what I'm gonna do is just draw a stick person again. So here's her head. We're gonna have her neck. I think I'm gonna do this kind of in profile just so that she's running that way. And then we're doing it in profile. I'm gonna draw a little bit of shoulder here. We're gonna do this here. This is really where the stick person comes in most handy. So shoulders, actually I'm gonna put our waist there. Because you'll see her shoulders will be there. This one we won't be able to see actually when we finish drawing it. This one we will. And then waist here. This is going to be one leg coming out from her hip. So this is like that joint where the thigh connects to the hip, her knee, and then foot up like that. And then this one, it's going to look more like she's taking a flying leap, but that's okay. This will be over here. Maybe she will be flying in this one. All right, and shoulder here. What am I going to do with her arms? Okay, so since this knee is up, I'm going to have this arm back, I think. And there's one, and then one up here. Okay. Yeah, it kind of looks like she's flying. That's okay. So the coolest thing about, or the thing that you're going to have to remember about drawing somebody in action is that 3D aspect of their body. So you're not just looking at something like this, you're looking at it from all kinds of different angles. So the chest that we would have like just kind of facing forward, it's going to be from the side. So you'll have, this would be kind of that very front of her chest here. This would be a little bit of her back and her butt coming out there. Her leg would come out here. It'll kind of overlap the other leg a bit. We're just going to draw in a foot there. And then this is where the other leg would come down. And so we're not going to draw it through here because her left leg is not a ghost leg. We're going to draw it behind everything else. If you feel more comfortable being able to draw out the whole thing so that you can kind of feel how it works, then go ahead and draw it in there like in pencil and then go over what you'll actually see in pen. And then we're going to just put a little lump there for her fist and draw over the arm. So this one we don't actually see her armpit because she's turned this way. So we'll just do that. I'm going to give her a little ball fist again. There we go. A little thumb on it or something. Okay, so that is kind of a person in action. You would add the clothes then on top of that. Just keep in mind that when you're turning somebody, you're not going to see all of their clothes the same way that you would if you were going to see them straight on. You'll still see them, it'll just be from a different angle. This is like a gym outfit, I guess, for her. And then you would go in and put the face in profile or 3/4 or however you want to have her facing. I'm going to have her facing forward. Just put a little hair here. Do that. There we go. So that's kind of the under sketch. If I was actually going to finish this, then I would probably go through and like just do touch-ups everywhere, like pick the line that I like the most, erase other lines. But that's kind of how we would go from that basic skeleton, the stick person, to something in action. All right, I'm going to try another one that I think will be interesting. This is more of a sitting pose. So I'm going to do head here. We'll still continue to have that front view. And again, because she's a kid, she really doesn't have a lot of definition here. So her shoulders won't be too wide. And her hips won't be very wide either. She'll be a little bit more narrow, rectangular, just because she's a skinny kid. And that's all good. That's how I designed her. All right, so I'm going to have her sitting cross-legged here, the crisscross applesauce. So you would have shoulder here, her hip is here. This is a little bit of like where her butt is and everything on the back. You could draw a diaper there if you really want to, or like underpants, I don't know, just to give you an idea of where everything's going to fall. And then right here, you'll draw like a line out. This will be the thigh. So right now she doesn't have any calves at all. It's a little bit weird looking. It's okay. And then we'll draw in the calves. That'll be your next line. So you have the line going out, that's the thigh. And then the line coming back in, that's the calf. And then there's feet. Her shoulders we'll put in here. And then I'm going to make her kind of leaning back on her arms a bit. Okay, so that's the basics that you give yourselves. So then over this is pretty similar to what we did with drawing bodies. We're just gonna draw in the details. So you'll put in a face, a neck. You're literally just drawing whatever goes on top of all the bones for somebody. So there. I'm gonna give her the same outfit in this one, just so you can see how it would fall a little bit. Because she's sitting like this, the fabric will pull a little bit over her legs, so it'll be like a little bit wrinkly here. The pockets will still go in there. One thing that you can do if you're not feeling comfortable about drawing kind of how somebody looks from the back to the front is you can start drawing the things that you know you're going to see first. So like if I'm pretty sure that this leg is gonna come out over this leg, you can draw this first and then draw this leg in. But you could do it the other way too. It's up to you. You're the artist. Whatever you feel comfortable with, as long as you ultimately get to the same picture in the end. Okay. So she's sitting a little bit wonky, but that's okay because most people sit crisscross applesauce. Funny. All right. So that would be her pant legs. That'd probably stretch over her tummy a little bit too, just because the volume of your body when you're sitting down is like shaped a little bit differently, and your clothes fit a little bit differently when you're sitting as opposed to when you're standing. And then this is where I draw on the face if I wanted to. I don't want to, so I'm just going to give you that. And then I'm going to put her hair in like little buns because she might want to put it up like while she's exercising or something. Okay. So that would be like one version of sitting. I actually probably did her thighs a little bit too big here, and her legs as well. This is something I would fix if I was going in, just because like I'd want her to look as similar to this model as possible. This one looks a little bit older, I think, just because she has more definition in her legs. But I'm not gonna fix it right now. All right, we're gonna do one more action pose. It'll be something pretty similar, or something pretty pretty standard for like somebody standing around. So we're gonna do our lollipop again. Shoulders, hips, and then with the kids, you're just kind of can keep it even. So when we were drawing the bodies of the guys before, it was a little bit more like this, where their hips were narrower than their shoulders, and with the lady, it was kind of like an hourglass shape, where their hips and their shoulders were about the same width, and it comes in at the waist. With the kid, it's gonna be a little bit more like that. It'll be a little bit more rectangular. But then again, you have the option to do basically whatever you want as the artist. Like, you get to make the call. You can have somebody who's shaped like this, like a circle. If you want, I'd recommend definitely taking a look at some like Disney or Pixar, like the silhouettes, which means like you're looking at them without seeing all the details. You're just seeing like kind of the outline of something, because they do a really good job of having like a variation in their characters' body types. All right, so I'm gonna just do that little square for her body here. Give her a couple shoulders, because it's nice to have shoulders. And then we're gonna do one leg in front of the other. And we're gonna do hands on hips. So here we go. Super, super basic, sketchy. The only things that we're drawing right now are the skeleton, I guess, or her very underlying elements. So shoulders, hips, this is maybe one side, this is another side. Our arms, our legs, feet maybe will be in here somewhere. This is the easiest way to be able to move your character around, because it doesn't take a lot of effort. Just drawing like a little line here, line there, and then your brain, because you're an artist, you can use your imagination and figure out, okay, this is how I'm going to want it to look. But if you don't like this look, this is really easy to scrap and start again. So that's why I'd really recommend using this method, where you have this like almost stick person underneath your main drawing. All right, so I'm going to do that. Draw a little head on her, a little neck. There we go. Okay, arms like that. Hands are going to be like little Lego hands again, just because it takes a lot longer than like a 10-minute video to talk about hands. Okay, and then this is probably where her torso would end here. Just do a little bit of that. I'm gonna put her clothes on as I'm drawing. Not everybody does it like that. I just like to have an idea where my clothes are going when I'm drawing them. So one trick with clothing that's really gonna give you kind of an advantage over other people is realizing the clothes go over the body. If I was drawing, let's say I decided to give her some socks. If I drew them like this, where they're not, it's just like one straight line and then a line here, you would assume they're basically painted on, they're so tight. But let's do her back leg here. But if you do that, then you'll assume that it's on top of her body. So this is why we do the clothing like over, it extends a little bit past where the boundary of like a human body is. It goes a little bit over top of it in various ways. Okay, so that's a kind of basic one. Just kind of gangly, boyish. It's just how I designed her. Color this in. There we go. This is our darker top. So you can see here, you basically have the option to move your character in whichever way you want to by doing that stick method. You don't have to do that method. You can do other stuff too. This is just a really quick and easy way to move your character around. So good luck, everybody. Hope you have fun drawing while you're stuck inside the house. Definitely let me know if you have any questions about this video. I'm happy to show you other stuff in the future.